What is up, everybody? Welcome to No Cap the podcast with your boy Tay, me, yes, me. So, real quick, shout out to Miss Pieri and Miss Smilovitz and everybody from 8 Law 2 and the Law Institute, my middle school, MS 45, for coming through tomorrow and making a very special episode for not only our teachers, but ourselves, because a lot of us have not seen them in over 20 years. So that was a great moment that we had. And even after the show, we still, after we went off the air, all stayed in the studio just talking and getting to know each other like over again. So it was pretty good. But tonight's episode, it's about long distance relationships. Do can you do them? Do they matter? And like, how do they work? So I have a very special guest here tonight with me, and her name is Ashley. How you doing?
Hello, everybody. I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. So long distance relationships. How do these things work?
That's an excellent question. And my point of view, they only work if both parties are on the same page about what's really happening. And long distance is not a permanent situation, in my opinion. Long distance should be, oh, I'm doing this for school, I'm doing this for work, I'm doing this for a period of time, and at some point of it is going to end, and we're going to be physically together. But that's
Okay.
just how I feel about it.
Okay. So would you be able to stay in a relationship with a person you are no longer in love with?
When you say a relationship, like be friends with them, because that's a relationship.
No, I mean like marriage, like you're married to the person, uh,
No,
you're
no, that
married.
is not something I would not sign up to be with in a relationship with somebody I was no longer in love with. That just hurts both parties at the end of the day.
Oh, okay, okay. Um, yeah, for me, I don't think that would be something that is even possible for myself, because if I don't still care about the person afterwards, then it's like, why am I here? Right?
True.
Um, my next question, what are your thoughts on open relationships and can those work?
Open relationships can work in my point of view. Um, I don't think one person can be everything for you. That's why there's a lot of compromise that comes in being in a relationship. And for people who compromise is hard for them, like having multiple partners is, I guess, more beneficial to them. But can I do it personally? No, but I understand why people do it because it's hard to be everything that some like that one person needs.
Okay. Have you ever had a
Mhm.
person bring that idea to you? Like they said, Ashley, I want
No,
an open relationship.
no, not the open relationship situation. No, I've never had that presented to me personally. But I know it's not something that I would be open to doing. Um, just because of the complexities that come with having multiple people in a situation sometimes. And it's not something like, as I said, when you're doing that, everybody has to be on the same page. Like, you have to be like established as I'm polyamorous, and everybody needs to know that. And that's just not something I think I will be able to deal with, I guess.
Okay, okay. That's understandable. So
Mhm.
with long distance relationships, how do you how are you in long distance relationships, like yourself?
I think I'm good, but I don't think I'm biased to myself. So of course I'm going to say that I'm good at long distance relationships. I think it's really a thing of communication when you're doing that. And then, especially when you're doing that, there has to be a lot of trust built between the two people when you're doing a long distance relationship because there's a lot of doubt and questioning that can come in there when you're not seeing the person, or sometimes based on your schedule, you might not even get to really talk to them that much that day. And you're like, well, I only spoke to you for 5 minutes out of the day. What are you doing with the other 23 hours and 55 minutes? So there has to
Yeah,
be like a solid foundation for that.
true, true. So, um, you said trust is something that you have to build when it comes to long distance ships. So, well, start off. Are you currently in a long distance relationship?
I am.
Okay, okay. So, like, how do you build that trust with that person?
It's just, I guess, keeping that open communication, like talking to each other, being honest about what's going on, I guess. Um, and just keeping your word about things, I guess. Like, I don't promise things that I don't think I could commit to. And I'm not a delulu person. Like, I'm not gonna be like promising things that I can't deliver on, or like if I'm busy, I'm busy. If I can make a trip, I can make a trip. If I can't, I can't. So it's not like, oh, I'm always promising stuff or saying, hey, this or that, and I can't commit to that. And that's just what I ask out of like my partner as well, especially when you're in a long distance kind of situation.
Okay, that's understandable. So, so I'm from New York. So
Okay.
there's different parameters from for what people here think is long distance to what I actually think long distance is. So people in New York, they will say that from the Bronx to Brooklyn is long distance. For me, I say that's just a
Okay.
train. What I feel like long distance is anybody that does not live in your state or country for that matter.
I disagree on that. I think if you live like 4 hours away from somebody, that's still long distance because that's not a drive you can say take after work, or like that's a weekend thing. You don't take a 4 hour drive in a day back and forth, especially when you have work and you have responsibilities. So no, I disagree on that. Like you can live in the same state and be in a long distance relationship.
True, true. I understand that. Um, how long have you been in a long distance relationship?
Eh, a couple months, I would say. Um, I don't know. The term relationship is a bit strong for me personally. Like I don't think I've made that. Like I'm talking to somebody consistently. That's long distance, and I'm committed to that person. But I don't know if we're at the stage where I would say, oh, it's a relationship. But I would say a couple months for sure.
Okay, okay. So
Uh-huh.
this is actually a big one. Do you think couples should have access to each other's phones or social media accounts?
Oh wow, that is a big one. Mm. Um, No, no. I still think that you should be able to have your individuality, and that comes with trust too. Like, if I trust you, I'm supposed to trust that you're not doing anything fishy. And like a parameter of that is me not having to go search for your phone or having to think that I need to go check what's on your phone. Like, I should trust that you're doing the right thing. If you're not, then that's on you. But I don't think it's healthy for me to have to be like, oh my God, like why is he, having his phone locked? Like, you should be your own person. Like have things that are just for you. So no, I don't think you should have to have your social accounts and stuff open to your partner. It would be nice if you do, but I don't think it's like a necessary, it's not mandatory to me that I have access to your social media and accounts like that.
Okay, okay, okay. For me, it's never been that serious that all right, I need the password to your Instagram or whatever, and I need to see who you're talking to in your inbox. It's never been that serious. Me
Hmm.
personally, as you can see, you're on a podcast. I do a lot of social media stuff on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook pages, and things like that. So I interact with a lot of different people daily. So the person I'm talking to would have to understand, well, I would hope that the person understands that when it comes to that part of my life, you know?
Yeah, that's why I was speaking about your having your own autonomy because that's like your business. Like that's what you do. Like if your partner gets involved, it gets involved, but that's part of your business. That's your autonomy. That's what you do. So yeah, I don't think it's necessary to have to share all of that. I mean, the videos are public. They're going to come out. They're going to drop. So why do I need, or why does anybody need access to that per se?
Hmm. Exactly. So, do you feel you should change who you are for your partner?
Definitely not. I think there are compromises that you can make that doesn't necessarily change who you are. But no, I don't think you should have to change who you are. Like essentially who you are. Like there's compromises that you can make. I don't like this TV show. We can watch that one. That's not changing you who you are. That's just a compromise. But there is a line in that compromise that that should not cross the line for you. But no, there's things you can compromise on, but you shouldn't change who you are.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I believe in compromise. Like, you don't like regular cow milk, then okay, we can drink almond milk or something like that. Um, what should couples prioritize more, relationships or their career?
Hmm. That's an excellent question. For careers where you're both working towards the same thing, like for instance, you're both doing social media, then I think it's intertwined because you guys will have to work together for that. So your relationship and your career could go together. If you're doing separate things, like I think it's important to be stable financially. Well, not I shouldn't say stable financially, but to work on your career and get it in a good place that where a relationship, like things that come with a relationship, is it comes easier because your career is good or it's solid.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That was a very excellent answer. So, another question is when it comes to long distance relationships,
Hmm.
um, do you prefer them over people that actually live in your state, or do you prefer like to be in a long distance relationship? Because I've talked to a lot of different people, and most of them, about I want to say about 85% of them, said they prefer to be in long distance relationships.
That's an interesting. I thought it would have gone the other way. I think, just by human nature, like you want to be close to that person, and proximity, I think, is important for that. I mean, long distance helps, like in relationships where you miss the person more, you appreciate them more because they're not always there. But I think, like, for me, having somebody that's like down the street, if I'm having a hard day, I could just go over or say, "Hey, come over." Like, I think that's super important. Well, to me, I can do long distance relationships. I have done long distance relationships. They're fine, but in terms of preference, I rather have somebody that's close by. So that's strange that 85% of people said they rather do long distance, though.
Yeah,
As I
yeah,
said in the beginning, long distance for me should be, oh, I'm going to school, or I have this thing for work, or, like there's a reason that we have to be apart.
okay, okay, understandable.
Mhm.
Um, well, this is a big one. This question was actually sent to me from my best friend. Um,
Okay.
is it possible to be friends with an ex?
110%. I mean, it depends on how it ends. If it's amicable, then I think you could be friends with your ex 110%. Like, I'm not talking buddy buddy, but they check up on you like once a month, twice a month, or something like that. I think you could be friends with your ex. But like a close friendship, like where you're talking every day, and that can't work. But no, you could be amicable with your ex.
So
Again,
if I,
that's depending on how it ends.
so why do you feel it can't work if you're talking with an ex every single day?
The history that y'all would have had, like, somebody's gonna get hurt, like, because it's so hard to separate what happened and where you guys were and what you used to be doing that every day. Like, it's so easy to slip into old habits and old behaviors, and you know, yeah. So the everyday thing with an ex being a friend, no, I don't think that's healthy for a person. Um, but yeah, you guys could still be acquaintances and friendly with each other, but not this buddy buddy, or we're best friends, kind of stuff.
Okay, okay. So this is a big question too. Um, can you truly love someone without ever having meeting them in person?
No, I don't think you can. I don't think you can truly love somebody without meeting them in person. Um, there's so much you can hide with distance. Like, there's like in texting, you can think about your responses, like, but in the moment stuff that you can't hide when you're just there in person. Like, yeah. So I don't think you could really truly get to know somebody long distance. Like, I think you have to meet them, you have to be around them, you have to see how they are in everyday life. Like, yeah, unless that's your little side piece or like something like that. But no, I don't think you could truly love somebody unless you've met them, spent time with them, and like, you know, see what they are on a day-to-day basis.
Hmm. Okay, okay. Um, should you disclose your sexual history to your partner even though you have not met them in person?
Oh, I can't hear
Did
you.
you-
1 second.
Uh, can you hear me now?
I can't hear you. Hold 1 second.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now.
Okay. So the question was, should you disclose your sexual history to your partner even though you haven't met them in person?
Um, should you disclose? Um, yes. If that's important to your partner for them to know that, then yes. Um, of course, like for health reasons, you might want to ask a question or know something. So I do think, yeah, you should disclose that if the person is interested or if there's something you think they should know. So yeah, I do think you should disclose that your sexual history.
Okay. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I agree. You should definitely disclose that with someone that you're pursuing a relationship with because it's fair for them and it's fair for you. So, um,
correct.
last few questions here. Should you disclose your any mental health issues you may have to your partner?
Oh, 110%. I think that would well, not explain, but no, it would explain like your behaviors and why you might do certain things and like why your mood might shift and like why it might not be anything to do with them or whatever. Or even like, if you guys plan to be long term and you're having kids, like some of this stuff is hered- hereditary. So you would want your partner to know, hey, I have these mental issues or, I've been dealing with this for a while or but a lot of this it doesn't have to be right off the bat stuff. Like if you're serious with somebody and you guys are getting to the stage where it's like, okay, future wife, future husband, like kids, like definitely. But if they tell you up front, oh, um, I'm not interested in being in a relationship with somebody who has this or that, the honest thing for you to do is to be upfront about it and be like, well, I know you said this, but this is my situation, so they know if they want to stick around or what they want to do with that information. But yeah, no, I definitely think you should share it, especially if you're getting serious with somebody.
Okay. Um, last two questions. How long do you text and call someone before meeting them in person when it comes to a long distance relationship?
Honestly, depends on the distance. Like if we're 4 hours away, like I think by week two or so we should be meeting. If it's further, I think at least once a month you should be meeting the person that you're in a long distance relationship with. If not, once every 3 months. Again, it's based on the accessibility that you have to the person. But I don't think half a year should go by or a full year should go by where you're not seeing your partner in person at all. Like there should
Mhm.
be constant attempts to try to meet up in person just to have that physical connection. Um, and just to be around them, know what their skin smells like. Like
Their
it's crazy you
skin.
have a yeah, it's crazy if you have somebody in your life you don't know what perfume, what they smell like,
I get it. I get it.
yeah.
Um, well, I said final two questions before, but I lied. Final two questions
Mm.
now. Um, how do you feel on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being absolutely great? How do you feel your current long distance situation is going?
Um, I would give it a 6. Like, like we haven't met in person and there's a lot of like little flags. Not a lot, but there are flags that I don't really like per se. But I would give it a 6. Like, I don't think we communicate enough with each other. I mean, I know I have a busy schedule and whatnot, and they also have a busy schedule, but I think we could be doing a lot better and like working towards, I guess, meeting each other better, I guess. But yeah, it's a 6. It's okay for now. It
Okay.
could be better.
Okay. Okay. Well, I would say nothing is perfect, but my last question: what advice would you
Mhm.
give to someone that is pursuing a long distance relationship?
I don't think I'm the one for it because, as I said, I just gave it a 6, so I don't know if I'm the one to give advice on it. But I think communication is key and being honest about what is acceptable, I guess, like what the both of you really want. Like you can't have one person saying, "Oh, I think we should meet at least once a month," and the other one saying 3 months, and then you don't compromise to two, then somebody's unhappy. So I think it has to be communication. It has to be a lot of honesty, and it has to be like a lot of trust. Again, if you're just playing games and y'all not serious or whatnot, also communicate that. I mean, there's that meme going around about people who fly to see they sneaky link. So of course, that's an option for people. But I think it's really about communication and honesty and letting somebody know, hey, this isn't working, or this is working, or this is what we need to improve on, or this isn't, this is what not makes
Mhm.
me happy, or whatever. Because it is easy to get distracted with local talent. That's a weird way to put it, but you can't get distracted with local talent when your talent is far away and not accessible or easily accessible. So, yeah,
Yeah, when you have international talent, let's just put it that way.
yeah. So,
So, uh, Ashley, thank you for being on the show. This was a short
uh,
episode. It wasn't normally as long as it would normally would be, but uh, you just went, you just answered the questions, got straight to the point. Um,
mhm.
yeah, for those watching this in the comments, um, just make sure you communicate. That's the biggest takeaway from this. Communicate and just talk to your person, pretty much. But
Yeah,
my name
yeah.
is Tay. This has been No Cap Podcast. So stay humble and stay safe. Make sure you wash your ass because COVID is still out here. And we'll see you in the next one.